her leaving, he still loves her. Spider-Man kidnapped that woman! He also lets her know that he's going to move to England with her. Boy, not much wind on those New York bridges, huh?
I'm just gonna follow you everywhere. I'm just gonna follow you the rest of my life.
Or, rest of your life would be more practical. I have an entire file of these jokes. The power goes out all over the city, but Peter and Gwen have an idea how to bring it back, while also stopping Electric Andros.
Do you see me now, Spider-Man?
Yeah, the rivalry has been so built up. What was his motivation again?
I want pizza!
Oh, and get this. Two planes are about to crash into each other if the power's not turned back on. But literally nobody in the movie knows this, so it adds no extra tension. None of the main characters are on there, and we know it's not gonna crash. It honestly feels like it was added at the last minute because the climax wasn't exciting enough. With that said, this climax isn't exciting enough. The CG is not particularly impressive, especially compared to earlier. The shots in action are pretty standard. And then, you know, this dumb shit.
Down came the goblin and took the spider out.
Spider-Man. Bet you never saw this coming.
Again, great Electro writing. What other great quips did he have? Die, Spider-Man, or I got you now, or die, Spider-Man? At this point, I think I would prefer you're the one who's out Gobby out of your mind. At least I'd remember it. Gwen shows up, Leary gives the audience's facial reaction, and the two of them finally defeat Electro. Oh, and the two planes were saved, because I know that was at the height of your worries.
See, that wasn't so bad. A little underwhelming and crowded, but it wasn't anything that bad. Oh no. No. Don't do this. Go back. Stay out of this movie. Oh, God.
Oh, God, indeed. Not since Mila Kunis as the Wicked Witch, Rosie O'Donnell as Betty Rubble, or Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates has a famous character ever looked so not right.
You were my friend, and you betrayed me!
Sometimes something can be so stupid it's funny. This is just so stupid it's stupid.
Look at me!
There's less than 20 minutes of the movie left, and another villain has been thrown into the mix. Arguably, Spider-Man's most famous villain, and he gets 1/9 of the movie to shine.
Oh no. This is bad.
This is very bad. Spider-Man fights Harry, slowly turning into Mr. Bean, but Gwen gets tossed and Spider-Man's web hand tries to catch her. As fans of the comic have deduced, and movie fans are tired of having hammered in, Spider-Man is unable to save her, and she dies.
No, please.
So, cool, they got one of the biggest deaths in comic book history finally on the big screen. So why does it feel so empty? I don't want to see her go. I like seeing her and Peter interact. But somehow this just doesn't feel warranted. Why? A couple reasons. First off, in the comic, this happened over a long-building rivalry. When Joker killed Robin in, God, any version of Batman, it's not done by a villain who just popped up. It's done by one who's been established for some time. It's a rivalry burning and burning and burning, and this was the final explosion it amounted to. Not, by the way, I'm the Green Goblin, why? Second, aside from that sloppy speech in the intro, the movie doesn't really support this happening either. Take Star Trek II. What's it about? It's about getting older but holding on to your youth, sacrificing to stay alive but facing the inevitability of death. Some things you can escape, others you can't. All these themes are spread out throughout the movie, so it makes sense when a main character dies in it. What's Amazing Spider-Man 2 about? Parent spies, gliders that millionaires shouldn't know how to use, rhino people, Navi nightlights. It's too cluttered to be about anything. The only other way it could work is if they did it to be more realistic, like Godfather or Game of Thrones. You know, the shock value adds to the realism. And I don't think this is a series that rides that much on that anymore. The tragedy is this is the second time a Spider-Man movie has botched this scenario, which means we're never gonna see this done correctly on the big screen because everyone's just too familiar with it. So, one of the most famous comic book deaths in history is just gonna have to stay in comic book history, because it's forever ruined anywhere.